How to gently step off the pink cloud of sobriety. For those of you who don't know, the pink cloud is a term used to describe the initial period of sobriety when you've just stopped drinking or using and you're super happy because you've finally broken free of the grips of your addiction. Some people say it doesn't exist, but I think it does. It's when you are super happy and you might do something like wearing a Hawaiian shirt in January. Yes, I don't know, just felt like it. Anyway, I got this comment from theordinary saying they came off the pink cloud and they were using the smart recovery hierarchy of values to keep themselves focused and motivated. So after that initial feeling of like, great, I've broken free from the drink, then finally you get to a point where all those things in life that maybe made you drink in the first place and all the things that you were angry about start to settle back in and you go, no more pink cloud, feel crap. How do I get that feeling back? Well, it's hard. And I think the short of it is that life isn't all good. You know, it's the yin and yang. You can't know joy without experiencing pain. The highs are never as high if you don't know what the lows are, etc. But they said they were using the smart recovery technique, hierarchy of values, and it got me thinking about the other ways to focus your attention or focus your efforts. And I mean, I did smart recovery back in the day. I didn't do it for that long, but the hierarchy of values is basically identifying what is important to you. You know, what are the things that you really care about in life? I've talked in the past about being motivated by things that don't necessarily match with your core values. So believing that money, work, other successes, superficial successes give you self-worth, but they don't actually. It's having good relationships. It's about being a kind, decent person. It's about, giving back to others, being helpful, being of real worth. So in smart recovery, they have core values. I think that's great. But what this got me thinking about was the way other people look at it. And I remember when I was in rehab the first time, it was at the Priory. It was 12-step rehab, and they introduced the idea of the spiritual malady, which is an AA concept. Now, the spiritual malady is basically saying that you're doing things that aren't spiritually wholesome or spiritually fulfilling. You look at your actions and you say, oh, well, I was being an arse, not just when you were drinking or using, but in my life, I was being selfish. I was being self-serving. I didn't give back. I didn't really care about others. I only did things when it suited me. And you make all those decisions in the moment without realizing that actually you get to the end of a week or a month or a year and you go, I was an arsehole this year. I didn't treat my friends well. I didn't do anything for my family. I just picked and chose. And the balance of everything, you go, no, that wasn't me. That's not the person I want to be. So your spiritual life is in imbalance. So that the smart recovery way of looking at things is very similar to that Alcoholics Anonymous way of looking at things. And then that led me on to thinking about how I would view things now in terms of my counsellor training. And that is to look at what we would call incongruence within your life. You have your real self and your ideal self. Your real self is what you're actually doing, the life you're living, and your ideal self is what you'd like to be, what you'd like to be doing, how you would really like to be seen and perceived. And you don't get seen and perceived and remembered like that if your real self is doing all this crappy stuff. So you have an incongruence between what you're actually doing and what you would like to do. And then that leads us on to why you're doing those things. And it's because they don't align with your values and something else is telling you to do that. And that comes down to what we call your conditions of worth. So that is saying, I thought to be happy and successful and loved and appreciated and accepted, I had to get the job, get the money, get the relationship, and do these things. So maybe you choose some high-paid corporate job that, like I did, I went into surveying and I thought that winning these cases and making my clients money and getting bonuses would make me respected, successful, and would be fulfilling. I thought they would give me self-worth, but they didn't. My actual values, I didn't even know what my values of worth were. I hadn't really considered what my hierarchy of values was. I hadn't seen that I had a spiritual malady, a hole in the soul. I didn't realise that all that selfish behaviour wouldn't give me any self-worth. So, when you stop drinking, you feel great because you've finally managed to stop using or drinking your substance of choice. And you go, oh, I'm free of the shackles. But actually you're not. You got a momentary reprieve. Then you have to face the fact that you still got to change the person you are. Otherwise you'll keep doing those things which were driving you down. You'll have no joy in life. You'll have no gratitude for the opportunity to do things that you want to do that are going to give you real self-worth and help others and be respected and be loved. So to stay on that pink cloud, you've got to figure out what's going to keep you there. What's going to get you to the point where at the end of your day or week or month or year, you go, I'm proud of myself. It's just grey over there. What's it going to take for you to be able to say, I'm proud of what I did. I have real self-worth. I'm of value to others, to myself. It's not easy. A lot of people come off that pink cloud, have no idea what to do. You might relapse. You might have to go through it all again. But you do get there eventually, if you keep trying. And if you take those steps to truly look inside, do the work, find out, and change who you are what you're doing. Then you can get back on the pink cloud whenever you like. Like I said earlier, life has ups and downs. You don't stay there forever. But after the downs, you go, all right, now I want to do something good again. I want to make the next right choice. Do something else to make me feel good. It doesn't have to be for me. Doing something for someone else could make me feel good. Whatever it is. Anyway, this was kind of just trying to have a brief overview of those 3 concepts. If you'd like me to go to any more detail about any of those, let me know in the comments. Happy to do so. I'm kind of thinking of moving in this direction of doing more kind of the psychological or behavioural considerations associated with the counselling course I'm doing. Let me know what you'd like. So, for now, I'll leave it there. Bye.